Coming up here at noon, an Oregon native is an Olympic medalist. Hear from Jackie Wiles and her Olympic partner on what it feels like to win big. Plus, a cold case closed for decades is now solved. Who was linked to a murder from 1992? Also ahead, in an effort to keep the Trailblazers in Portland, the city is taking matters into its own hands. How it plans to raise the hundreds of millions of dollars to do so. Oregon native Jackie Wiles is now an Olympic medalist. Just days after finishing fourth in the individual downhill, the Canby High grad took bronze in team combined event. She placed fourth in the downhill portion, and her combined time with teammate Paula Moltzen put them in third place behind Austria and Germany.
Yeah, the American women's team right now is crazy. It's untouchable, actually. We are currently winning the Nations Cup. Speed and tech just keep building off of each other. One weekend, it's like Michaela Schifrin winning. The next weekend, it's any one of the speed skiers on the podium. It's so incredible to be a part. It's an era that I think will last for a little bit here. We got some depth.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool is we know that if we build each other up, we're all going to succeed together, and I feel like there's something so special about that team camaraderie and really building one another up so we all succeed. So it's a cool team to be a part of.
Oh, really great photos there. You can just feel the excitement and joy. Team USA is walking away with a silver medal in curling mixed doubles. It's the first time Americans have ever won a medal in this competition. So Corey Dropkin and Corey TC made history yesterday, getting the win over Italy in an epic semifinal. This morning, they faced Sweden in the finals, where they fell short of the gold 6-5.
The medal count is brought to you on KGW by On Point Community Credit Union.
Meanwhile, Norway remains on top in the medal count with 11 total, including 6 golds. Italy is in second with 11 medals. The U.S. is now in third with 2 golds, 3 silvers, and 2 bronze. Japan and Germany round out the top 5. Well, we are just a few days into the Winter Olympics, and American athletes are already using their platforms to speak out on political issues related to the Trump administration. One of those athletes is Ben freestyle skier Hunter Hess. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us with more.
On Monday, the 27-year-old skier from Bend expanded on his comments that drew the ire of President Trump, who called him a real loser and hard to root for over the weekend. Here's Hess's comments that first sparked the president's backlash.
If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
Hess took to Instagram yesterday saying, "There is so much that is great about America, but there are always things that could be better. One of the many things that make this country so amazing is that we have the right and the freedom to point that out." Earlier this week, figure skater Amber Glenn, who brought home gold, spoke out about how things are going for the LGBTQ+ community in the United States.
It's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights.
Glenn called the backlash for, quote, just supporting people outlandish, and says she will be stepping back from social media. A third Olympian, snowboarder Chloe Kim, was asked about Hess's comments and President Trump's response. Here's what she had to say.
I'm really proud to represent the United States. The U.S. has given my family and I so much opportunity, but I also think that we are allowed to voice our opinions on what's going on, and I think that we need to lead with love and compassion.
Kim added that it's important to unite and stand up for one another in times like this. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, let's get a check of your weather now on this Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Chris.
Good afternoon, Stephanie. A gorgeous afternoon out there. Bright sunshine for a lot of us. As we check out the visible satellite imagery, we had the early morning fog, but you can see here plainly that has burned off, with the exception of like down towards, say, Lynn and Benton and Lane counties. And of course, this up here in the Cascades is that fresh snow that fell over the weekend. That was good. It's also a little breezy out there. We'll show you that in a second. Lots of daylight. We have tacked on nearly an hour and a half since the winter solstice. So the days are getting longer. We're into a 5:30 sunset now. So there you go. All right, let's take you live out to Fairview. Why am I showing you an ODOT camera? Because This thing has been bopping around in the breeze yet again today. It's another very breezy day for the east side. Corbett had a gust earlier this morning to 49 miles an hour right along the interstate out in Troutdale. East winds coming out of the gorge gusting to 45. So breezy day on the east side. Not much of a breeze, though, at the airport. Right now, it's currently 45 degrees as we look down on downtown Portland. 50 in Hillsborough and Forest Grove. Right now, Salem sits at 47. And the cool spot in Oregon on this map, under the low cloudiness out towards the Dalles right now at 39. All right, the plan for the rest of the day, about what you would expect for the middle of February. 51 is about average for high temperatures. We'll be right about that, or it's just a little bit better with a mostly clear sky. And, of course, there's that earlier mentioned sunset now at 5:30. Days are getting longer. I know. All right, we'll have a look at your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you then. Police are linking a notorious serial killer to the 1992 unsolved murder of Elizabeth Wasson. The Washington County District Attorney says Cesar Barone, who is considered a suspect in Wasson's case, murdered her in her home on September 23rd of 1992. This case went unsolved for more than 3 decades until it was reopened in 2023. That's when investigators found DNA evidence that linked Barone to the murder. Barone was linked to 4 other murders and sentenced to death in 1995. He died while in prison in 2009. On the discovery, the Chief Deputy District Attorney saying, quote, "While many years have passed, we hope this result brings some closure to the victim's family and to the community. This office remains dedicated to delivering justice for victims and their loved ones, no matter how much time has passed." In your top stories this afternoon, 1 person has died and another injured in Dallas. The police department saying around 2 o'clock this morning, officers found 1 person dead and another seriously injured inside a home on Crater Lake Drive. The investigation is ongoing. We will update you as we learn more. A pedestrian is taken to the hospital with serious injuries after a hit and run in southeast Portland. This happened just before 10:30 last night on Southeast 122nd Avenue and Woodward Place. Police say the driver who caused the crash drove off. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. We're working to learn more about what led to a deadly crash that closed part of Highway 30 near Rainier last night. Oregon State Police say 2 vehicles were involved. They say there were serious injuries and a death, though they did not provide any more specifics. Columbia River Fire and Rescue posted these photos that show a life flight helicopter on scene. Highway 30 at Larson Road and Heath Road was closed in both directions as crews responded. More than a dozen dogs and cats are now safe at a new spot after they were rescued from a suspected case of neglect. The Lake County Sheriff's Office served a search warrant at a property in Christmas Valley after a weeks-long investigation into reports from concerned neighbors. 1 puppy found in critical condition was immediately treated. The animals from this case are not yet available for adoption, but you can find updates on the Oregon Humane Society's website.
After a lot of reflection and heartfelt conversations with my family, I've decided not to seek another term as chair of Multnomah County.
It has been just under 2 months since Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vado Peterson announced she would not be seeking a second term, meaning county voters will now elect a new chair in November using ranked choice voting. And right now, only 2 candidates have publicly announced their bid to be the next leader of Oregon's most populous county. That includes current Commissioner Shannon Singleton, and just yesterday, Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards announced her bid for the role. The amount of unspent housing money that keeps being discovered inside Portland City Hall is now adding up to more than $100 million. It's the money meant for things like affordable housing, homelessness, and rental assistance. This morning, we're hearing from the man in charge of city finances.
This is a key component in building trust and transparency with the public with what's happening right now as it relates to the housing fund. But this is just the beginning.
You can watch more from our interview with the city administrator Raymond Lee, including why he's not ruling out the possibility that there is even more money sitting unspent in City Hall. You can find that on our KGW YouTube channel or streaming on KGW Plus.